welcome. My name is Sean Heilman, and in this video we're going to cover the Herndon Elementary School SOL Retake review site. So this is a Google site that was built to help students get remediation before retaking an SOL. And before we actually go through the site, I want to cover the process involved. So essentially what happens is, some students may or may not pass the SOL, and so we need to plan for the students who don't pass the SOL. So if a student fails the SOL, they have to take a number of steps before they can actually retake. So part of that being that the teacher analyzes the SOL information to choose a remediation category for the students, or a reporting category. They should really conference with the student and explain the whole process behind the remediation, and then assign that reporting category, so that way the student knows what's expected of them, and then they end up doing the right remediation. Then the student can complete that remediation either in class or at home. There's a remediation assessment that the student can take. The teacher can review that remediation assessment and decide if they need to do some more remediation with the student, or if the student's ready to retake the SOL. And then at the end, the student may or may not receive that additional remediation, and then finally they're going to retake that SOL at the very end of this process. So jumping back to the remediation site, there are 3 tabs, one of which you can kind of skip. It's the home tab that just kind of explains how to use this site and what's expected of the students and where to go if you're a teacher. Now if you're a teacher, you'll have 3 tabs here, the student and teacher tab as well as the home tab. Students will only be able to see this student tab. So we're going to first go through this as a student. So you can really give the students this link, and I'll put it in the description. So they come in and they're kind of greeted with this checklist of things to do, where to go. There's also some test-taking strategies. There's a little test-taking video, and then a little pep talk here as well. So we're going to go through. I'm going to pretend I'm a 3rd grade student. So I'm going to click on 3rd grade here. Now, theoretically, the teacher has already met with me and discussed what reporting category I need to focus on. So let's just say I failed my language arts SOL and I really struggled in reporting category 2. Now, a student may struggle in a number of reporting categories, but really pick the one that that the student was lowest in, or that they need the most remediation in, and that's the one that I would recommend assigning. So then the student would go in here to reporting category 2, and there is 3 sections that they have to go through. There's basically a learn section where there's videos and little things that go over the concepts. There's a practice section where they can actually apply the concepts that they used in the learn section, and then at the very end there is a test that they would do. And basically this is just to check to make sure that these are SOL type questions, so they can kind of practice these SOL questions before they retake. So that's kind of the process for the student, and it's set up so that they have access to it at home if they need it. Let's go into the teacher page now. So as a teacher, you've assigned a student a reporting category, and the student may or may not come to you and say that they've finished the assessment and they're ready to retake the SOL. So one of the things that you can do as a teacher is, let's say that you've assigned me, of course, reporting category 2, which I just took the test on, as you saw. Under the teacher page, you have access to everything. But we can go in here to reporting category 2 under 3rd grade. It lets me know, hey, there were 17 questions. Here are the standards that were covered. And one of the things that I can actually do is go into the test that was taken, and it'll load here. Now I've already graded it a minute ago, but I'll show you here. So as we look at this, you can see that there are the SOL standards, there's the answer key for the test, and then you can see that I've submitted my test. Now the nice part about this is there's a nice little grade button here, and this is a self-grading test. So you can go through and it will mark down the scores that everybody got. So if they got it right, it'll show up green. If they got it wrong, it'll show up red. This one should have shown up green. I'll have to go back and check my coding on that one. So it just kind of gives you a quick little rundown of if Sean here is ready or not to retake that SOL. Now if he's in a spot where he's gotten most of them right, or you feel like he's got the concepts down, then he's probably ready for the SOL. If there were a number of spots that you felt like they struggle with, there are resources right here that you can actually search the eCart resource library. So just by clicking on this link, if I'm actually logged in here to Blackboard, it will do the search for me on that standard, and then here are all the lessons that are available for that standard. And if I stay logged into Blackboard and I click on this other one, it'll do that search for me as well. So basically that's the entire process. You just have to be able to set up something to have conferences with the students, make sure that they know the reporting categories, and then make sure you're checking in on their progress and how well they did on the assessment. So thank you for watching.